provider, I'm a protector, you know, and I love the human race, you know what I'm saying? I love all people. Guthrie's.
What's that?
It's like a chicken finger spot.
Okay.
And you get delicious chicken fingers
and
garlic bread and that famous dipping sauce.
Okay, so Deontay, we've been in, we've seen you train, we've seen you move around, we've seen you do the pads and some bags. Obviously hard at work. Could you have made it as a singer?
I can't hold a note, you know, I can definitely hold a note. And with the technology that's out nowadays, you know, I think I can be pretty good at being a singer.
Going into this rematch, who has the upper hand based on what happened in your last fight with Tyson Fury?
I'm always have the upper hand with no matter who I get in the ring with, because of my power alone, you know, no one has the devastating power that I have. And not only it lasts the first round, it lasts the 12th round as well. And with that being said, it makes me one of the most dangerous fighters in the division, period. In boxing, period.
Is he the best you've faced so far?
You know, when I deal with fighters, you know, everyone has a different skill set and a mindset. So I can't say he's the best, you know, but he has certain attributes about him that makes him, you know, the best in certain areas.
He says he's a master of psychology. What do you make of that? Do you find him unpredictable? You never know what Tyson you're going to get, because you've seen different times. Like in Los Angeles, you guys were very respectful, but he's got up in your grill and tried to get in your face.
Well, I do think he's bipolar, you know, which is okay. We all have something about us, you know, even me, you know. I come from Deontay Wilder to the Bronze Bomber when it's time to get in the ring. You know, it's something that's very real. It's a switch that switch on and off, you know. So, you know, the best people, the greatest of people that's in, you know, all different types of occupations, different things in their life. The best ones, you know, they have different things about them that makes them unique, that makes them different from others. You can easily differentiate between, you know, different people when you're looking at greatness. And I think that's is very much so required, because everyone is not capable of switching on and off certain type of things. You know, some people don't understand how it happens. And, you know, the best of the best, when you see all sports, they can all tell you about certain egos or certain things that they do, they switch on and off, what makes them, you know, who they are.
He's talking about a different strategy this time, about being bigger, stronger, and about looking for the knockout. What do you think about that? Do you expect that?
You know, you never know what to expect with Fury, you know. But one thing for sure that is hard to believe is talking about knocking me out in 2 rounds and being the aggressor. So I really can't see that at this point in time, but who knows? He get in the ring, he may feel lucky, he may feel, you know, may feel some type of confidence and to actually do what he said that he was gonna do, but it's gonna be very dangerous for him if he proceed along with that idea.
Did he hurt you at all in the last fight?
He didn't hurt me at all. You know, Fury, like I told him, he had pillows as fists, and that's what he has. You know, he's a skillful boxer, but he don't hit hard.
He has a new team. What do you make of that? Change of trainers relatively close to the fight.
Well, he did it the first time, so, you know, and doing it again the second time, and then you going off with the saying, what's broke, don't fix it. It kind of make you think, you know, still a little nervousness there. You know, what's going on in the camp. You're changing up so much. You're getting all these different trainers, you know, coming in, you know. And when you get certain type of trainers, we all know that it can be sometimes when you get too many guys, it can be too many chiefs in the camp, which won't allow you to get nothing accomplished because you're worrying about this person and that person controlling your camp. So, not saying that's going on in this camp, you know, just thinking ahead, just having so many different people. And then, like I said before, sometimes it's a good thing to have so many different minds. But it can go good or it can go bad. But on February 22nd, we're gonna see exactly what it did for him.
He's raised his profile with the WWE appearance. What did you make of him getting involved in that?
You know, for him, it's another outlet outside of boxing. And when fighters have other outlets going on beside of boxing, I'm always excited for them. I'm always happy for them because we can't do this forever. We can't box forever. You know, it's a young man's sport. And no one wants to keep getting hit in the head over and over again. For the head is not meant to be hit in the first place. So if you can have some type of income going on the outside, Deontay Wilder approves of it.
Would you do it?
WWE, I definitely would do WWE. You know, if the opportunity came about. I mean, we talked about this years and years ago, you know, doing something like that, you know. But if the opportunity came about and it was right and everything, you know, everything was right and leveled out where it made sense, then, you know, I'm a character myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fun guy. I like to entertain. And I can definitely, you know, as you can see me as the Bronze Bomber each and every time I have an outing. So it wouldn't be no difference than joining to the WWE, but it'll just be, you know, boxing is more realistic than the WWE. WWE is basically all about entertaining, which boxing is too, but you're actually getting hit in the face in boxing.
Are you where you want to be in your career in terms of boxing, in terms of fame, in terms of money?
I'm happy. You know, I'm ultimately happy. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. Am I where I want to be? Well, that's my goals is so high. My expectations for me as a person, just in life general, is very high. Even if I wasn't in boxing, it's very high. It's so high it's so high. I set goals so high that the naked eye can't see it from happening. So as a human being, we always, you know, automatically label things impossible. But I always tell everyone that I know a man that make the impossible possible.
What do you need to do to improve as a fighter?
As a fighter, what I need to do to improve is just continue working on the same things, you know, making that perfect, you know, the jab, the right hand, the left hook, the movements, you know, the eye coordination, the timing, the speed, all those things that consist of you doing in boxing, you can always improve. It's always the next level that you can reach. And I'm always working hard. I'm always training hard. I'm always using the same thing to become a muscle memory. But, you know, I'm always trying to advance my IQ in the ring as well. It would make me go from good to great.
What do you say to people who say you're a one-trick pony?
Well, for those people that think I'm a one-trick pony, yeah, you know, I'll invite them into the ring and let me perform my one trick for you. You know, I'll be happy to do so. And like we said, you know, if it's not broken, then why fix it? I've been doing this for 12 years, and what I've been doing has been a continuous thing. It's been consistent, and I've been giving the fans what they want to see, and that's knockouts.
How many more fights are you looking at in your career?
How many more fights I'm looking at? Who knows? But I can tell you I'm here for only 6 more years. You know, I think 6 more years, that will put me at the age of 40. And I think around about that time that I should have everything that I've seeked out to have, you know. Not only inside of the ring, but on the outside of the ring as well. You know, it's very important for me to have a structure, a foundation to build something outside of the ring, due to the fact that this boxing, it's a very dangerous sport. You know, you just never know when the last fight could be your last fight, you know. So with that being said, you know, I got a lot of things in store and planned, and I'm in the right direction.
So if you're happy, and as happy as you've ever been, you're content, you're the champion, what motivates you to keep going? Why do you need to keep going? What
motivates me to keep going is my children. You know, I set out to have generational wealth. Like I said, I'm in the right direction of achieving that, but I want more. I want greatness. You know, when I look at my 8 kids, I look at them and I say, I'm gonna give you the world. You know, and that's what I seek out to do. I had an opportunity to break the chain for my family, an opportunity that my father didn't have, nor his father had for him. But I had that opportunity, I grabbed it and I ran with it. I've broken the chain. But not only I'm just gonna settle for just breaking that chain, I'm gonna go furthermore and creating things for myself. That way my family, my children, and even their children's children could be able to live off the things that they dad set for them. You know, when I talk about generational wealth, I'm just not talking about it. I'm actually being about it. My actions speak louder than my words. I'm a type of person that I lead by example. And this is what I'm doing in my life. What makes me feel good, what makes me happy, if my kids happy, they're growing up, they got an amazing life right now. And to see them able to do things that I've never were able to do at their age, to see them to go places and have things that I wasn't able to go or have, it means a lot to me. And it means the world to me because they are my world.
Do you think you can only feel that level of contentment now because you have struggled in the past and you know what that struggle's about?
I think going through a struggle definitely intensifies the feeling when you have success. Because the thing about struggling and going through poverty, and as we always say, coming from the bottom, the thing about it, you never forget it. No matter how high, no matter how wealthy, you become, you never forget where the saying is never forget where you came from, but you never forget your struggles, And I think that what makes me who I am now, because I'm always being reminded. I remind myself all the time of how hard it took me to get here, how I didn't have all the opportunities like a lot of people have and still don't have the opportunities, but I make my own way. When people doubt me, when people try to hold me back, when they don't want to see me succeed and make it, I still break through barriers. I still go through the rain of fire, and I still overcome and achieve greatness each and every time. So that's where I know if I speak it, I believe it, I shall receive it.
Why do you think you're the world heavyweight champion? Do you think you're here for a reason?
I'm definitely here for a reason. My grandma told me years ago that I was anointed by God. She said, baby, God's trying to use you. You can't be fighting. I used to get in trouble a lot in school. Not because I was a bully or I picked with people, because it was the opposite, believe it or not. I always got picking with because I didn't have the finer clothes, I didn't have the finer shoes, I didn't have the finer things that other kids had. So it allowed them to pick with me and stuff. But, I wasn't the type of person that bowed down to no one. I never looked for trouble, but trouble always found me. And I always had to defend myself, at times. So, with that being said, and to look back on me one of those times and look back now, everything worked out for me.
So why are you here? To break the cycle for your family? Do you think that's your main reason?
Why I'm here is to continue to break the cycle. I've broken the chain. From my father and his father, I've broken the chain, and I'm still going. And like I said, I owe it to my kids. They say you don't know what love is until you have a child, and I 100% agree with that. And my love for them go so wide and so deep to the point where I'm risking my life each and every time for their education, for their well-being, for them to be able to have the world. I want them to be able to endure those things, but also with enduring that and having these things, I teach them things about being able to be a hard worker, not being lazy, not settling for less, not having to depend on others. When you have a plan and an idea, you can't wait around. You gotta push forward. I would not build something where they would be lazy, where they don't have to do nothing. They will be smart and intelligent, but they will know how to be able to work hard and to be able to keep the upbringing of what I provide for them, to keep it going for the rest of their lives, for their children and their children's children and their children's children. That's the main goal, and that's the main plan that I instill and I talk to my children about.
We see you now flying high. What's been the lowest moment for you of your life?
The lowest moment has been for me of my life has been years and years and years ago. I think when my daughter was first born, back in 2005, I think 2006, it became very rocky for me, to the point where I lost my family, to the point where I had a gun in my lap where I was ready to commit suicide myself. Those thoughts come to your head. I mean, we're all human. Those thoughts come to anyone's head that's going through some type of depression, going through different things in their lives. You feel like the only way to end all this is to take your life. You're not thinking about anyone else. You're thinking about yourself and what's going on now. That if you're dead and gone, you don't have to worry about these things, but you don't think about how much it will affect your loved ones. Those problems that you're going through is going to carry on to your family and stuff. And during that time, you know, I always go take a cold shower. And once I get out and go to sleep and wake up, I'm a new man to approach life in a different mindset, in a different way, and never give up. And here I am, strongly here to you know, educate and to motivate and to show people, you know, we all go through things. We're human.
Because that struggle was real. Obviously, your daughter was born with spina bifida, and you were struggling to make ends meet.
Correct.
So not only were you struggling at home, but you were struggling, you know, with a job and finding your purpose. Now you found it.
Yes.
But you were in a wilderness there for a while.
Yes, I definitely was. It was very hard. Being 19, having my first child, you know, born with a disorder. You know, we all pray that our kids are born healthy. And when you get a challenge in life, you know, especially when you're a young adult, trying to go through life and find your own path and find your own journey and your purpose, and then you have a bigger task in front of you that your child need more love than the normal child, you know, and when you definitely, you barely making ends meet. It's like once money go through your hands, get it put in your hands, it go right through because of bills and other things that you have. You live in paycheck to paycheck. I've done that. I've been there. I know what it feels like to live paycheck to paycheck.
What jobs did you have? Tell me about some of the jobs.
What's that?
What jobs did you have?
I had at one point in time, I had 3 jobs. I always kept 2 jobs on hand because I promised myself I'd never struggle in life. No matter how many jobs I would have to have, you know what I'm saying? I said I would never struggle. And, you know, I started out from an IHOP, which is a 24-hour breakfast place, you know, the famous House of Pancakes. I was working at a Red Lobster. I had a job at Mercedes, a Mercedes company. And I also used to work at a Guthrie's for just a very little short period of time. So.
What's that? What's the last one?
Guthrie's.
What's that?
It's like a chicken finger spot.
Okay.
And you get delicious chicken fingers
okay.
And garlic bread and that famous dipping sauce.
What are you going to do after boxing? I'm taking you're not going to do any of that stuff.
Nah, those, you know, if anything, and if I'm associated with any of those things I came up doing with the jobs, guarantee I'll be the owner of the spots. You know, I actually got my old job, IHOP, you know, is up for sale, and they're looking for me to purchase it, you know. So I haven't talked about nothing, you know, this is stuff getting back to me or whatever. So, you know, we'll see what happens with that. But I'm a businessman, you know, I do a lot of business. I have a lot of property. I have commercial property as well, you know, that will be in the family forever and ever and ever. So, you know.
And the movies.
And the movies, you know, that's my passion. Acting is my passion. And that's one of the things that I'll be doing to the life of me is acting. You know, I'm very great at what I do. I'm a natural when I get on the camera and get into scenes, you know, I love that, you know. And acting is on the safer side of things. You're not getting punched in the head. You know, I can get in the script and act like I'm getting hit. I'd rather act like I'm getting hit than actually getting hit. And that's definitely something that I would be, what I'm into, and I would be fully devoted in it once after boxing is done.
You touched upon depression there. Obviously, Fury has talked about it at great length over the last couple of years. Do you identify with his struggle and what he's been through?
Some of it. You know, we all have a different path and different course in life. We all come from different places, you know, and some of it I could relate to committing suicide for one. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people have thought about that, you know, and some people could look at this and like, how could you know, I can't believe he, you know, would think about that, because they would look at me and they only see the success Deontay Wilder. They didn't see the struggle, the trouble man, the man that could barely make ends meet, Deontay Wilder. We all have a story that we come from. And our story what allows us to carry on as a human being to say, you know what, I'm not gonna let that get me down. I'm not gonna stay down. You know, I'm gonna pick myself up from this situation and I'm gonna apply action, because the only way you could gain success and to really become a great person is you apply action. I always say everyone have greatness in them, for greatness is only determined by service. So once you apply your service, you shall witness the greatness that come out of you yourself.
You're coming off a big win over Luis Ortiz going into this. As big as you are, as famous you are, as you're the reigning champion, undefeated in 5 years as the champion, you're still not, in terms of fame and notoriety or those levels of fame as a Tiger Woods or something. What's going to take you to that? I know you don't seek out fame, but what's going to make you that global superstar?
Well, I think I've done a great job, and I think, you know, I'm not all the way where I want to be, but I'm here. You know, I'm globally known. You know, every country, every city, every state, I set my feet on solid ground. They know who I am. People come up to me all the time. So, you know, but fame, you know, it's all about how much a person, yourself, how much you want it to be. You know, for me, I don't care about notoriety. I don't care about what person knows me or whatever. That's not my goal. That's never been my goal, to let the world know who I am. I'm very private. My life is very, very private. The people I bring around me is very private. You know, most of the time when I have people around me, they have to sign an NDA because I'm so private. You know, I don't care about certain things. I don't want the world to take away from, like, going to a local grocery store where I can pick up my fruits and vegetables, be able to smell it and feel it and see if it's not rotting or something like that, and not be afraid to go to the movies because people are draining my energy. Because one thing about me, I know how to say no, you know, and people get intimidated of me, which they have no reason to, but they only see the perspective of the bronze bomber in the ring, and then they see that, and then they think, because they see me, that my action would be the same outside of the ring, but I'm totally the opposite of what I am in the ring. On the outside, Deontay, as a human being on the outside of the ring, like, I'm such a giant gentleman. I'm a provider, I'm a protector, you know, and I love the human race, you know what I'm saying? I love all people. And, you know, I think that what makes me who I am, and, you know, and the greatness of me that I bring to the table, you know, to the world. You know, the Pope even he anointed me as boxing ambassador of peace. So you can only imagine, you know. But I love who I am. I love who I am, and I try to show everyone my character of who Deontay Wilder is. Accept me who I am, but I am who I am.
Do you think that's working? Do you think people know the real you now?
I think people are starting to get to know the real me. You know, it took a long time because people always plays me as the villain, and I never understood why.
That's your pre-fight talk. That's why.
Yeah.
That was the body on the record stuff. That's why you took that role.
Well, I can't say I took that role. I'm only displaying and providing my passion for this sport. In this sport, in boxing, you must be a monster. You must have a mentality of a killer, because they come to do the same thing. The people on the outside looking in would never understand what a boxer go through and what he feels and what he's facing inside of that ring. This guy is trying to do the same thing to me. Unfortunately, he's not confident or brave enough to express himself. But for me, I express myself. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I really walk it like I talk it. I say, hey, what credible way than actually tell somebody what you're gonna do and actually do it? You a man of your word, and I'm every bit of a man of my word. I think that's more credibility than anything. Now, outside of the ring, then your action shows for itself. I carry myself well. I'm very polite to others. I treat them just like I want to be treated. And, you know, I love people, you know, and that's the thing about it. You can't go off of a man's occupation and what he do to entertain you, because I risk my life for your entertainment. You know, if you're going to judge in the ring, you got to judge on the outside of the ring as well. And, you know.
So I feel like I've got to know the real Deontay Wilder over the years. So I'm sat here chatting to Deontay Wilder now. As Deontay Wilder, give me a fight prediction for February 22nd. Not the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder.
You know, the fight prediction for February.
You're fighting it. You're trying not to get into character.
You know, February 22nd is going to be a special time and moment. It landed on February, which is Black History Month, and I'm looking forward to that. You know, that's a part of my culture, you know, and I'm fighting in it, you know. So it's going to be a special moment to me and a lot of others. And my prediction for the fight is going to be a knockout, like all the other, you know, fights. It's going to be a knockout, and I don't see nothing less happening. The only difference is going to be between the first fight and the second fight. He will not get up this time. I told Fury a long time ago, I said, I'm going to make you go timber. Accomplished, check. I told Fury I was going to baptize him. Accomplished, check. And if you ever know anything about a baptism or been to a baptism, you know that you get dipped in the water and you rise back up. And he got dipped and he rose back up. But this time around, he would not get back up. But we pray that he go back to his family, though.
Okay, I'll take that. Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time, man. It was really
Blessing,
good
blessing. Y'all look too much into it. They say he ain't gonna get back up. That don't mean he ain't gonna die. Golly.